Hi, Mike Harvey here, just doing a bit of an intro to Ream's biological theory of ionisation, RBTI. So just introducing myself as a consultant. Doing the RBTI, which stands for Ream's biological theory of ionisation, which is a bit of a handful, a bit of a mouthful. But just explaining what that is in an intro to our Facebook site and what we're doing, what I'm doing these days. So Reams was a bloke who lived, he was in the Second World War. He was actually in the Philippines, got blown up actually, and then consequently was healed, lost an eye as well. But anyway, this guy called Dr. Kerry Reams was a mathematician, bit of a genius type guy, came up with a theory on, which was his biological theory of ionisation. And he was involved with agriculture fairly intensively in Florida in the USA, and had a lot of success with building programs for farmers and increasing the nutritional density of food, producing high quality food for people to use. And then further down the track, one of his clients had, his son was seriously ill, probably going to die. The doctor said he would probably die. And Reams, the client asked Reams if he could help him because he'd had so much success with his consultancy. Reams called himself a agricultural engineer and had a firm with a bunch of agricultural engineers working with him. Anyways, so he went away, fasted and prayed for a period of time, and then got a download of what he called the perfect formula, and then consequently through a lot of testing and trial and error and that kind of thing, he sort of refined it, figured out this thing, and had this formula for perfect health, which really no one can get to because it's perfect. And we don't live in a perfect world, we live in a fallen world. So anyways, so that was Reams. Came up with this. Biological means it's living, so this is to do with humans, but it also does apply to plant health, animal health, farming obviously. And it's a theory, so it is a evidence-based, so there's evidence for it. We can produce evidence. It's also a predictive. So Reams actually was able to predict for a handful of guys, said to them, look, in 6 months' time you will have a heart attack if you don't change what you're doing, encouraging them to change and adopt some of the principles of RBTI. Anyways, they ended up, a number of them having the heart attack at the time that they said. So it's predictive. We can predict, what's going on based on the numbers, and it's holistic, I suppose you'd say. In other words, it all holds together. The principles flow, whether you're talking about, creation, celestial bodies, human, animals, growing plants. The whole theory, covers all of them. And then it's to do with ionisation as well. And that was a significant part of it. So it's about energy. This is what it's really about, and that is, coming from E equals mc squared. Basically talking how really human life is congealed light or congealed energy, and works off the resistance between anionic and cationic energy. And this is the guts of the thing. Comes down to, in terms of a theory or a model, this is a model of things. So we have a central part for an anion in the middle, which is positive, and has a negative in the outer shell, and that's an anion. And then a cation is a negative in the middle, has an anti-clockwise spin, has a positive in the shell, and spins in that way. That's a cation. And out of this comes energy. Energy, which is what we live off. So Reams always said that we don't live off of food that we consume, which is more what's taught in schools and that, but we actually live off the energy that comes from the food that goes into us goes through our system. So we pull out the energy. All food's cationic except for the lemon, which is anionic. And so as the food goes through us, we derive the energy. So obviously the higher the quality of the food, the higher the mineral density, the higher the Brix level, the higher that quality, the higher the energy, the greater the energy release. And then we need to be in a state whereby we are gaining energy every day. So every day if we gain energy, we're increasing our reserve energy. We're getting healthier. Every day that we are dropping in our energy, we're heading more to a disease state. So we don't want to be doing that. So this is the theory that he developed, and then going back, like simplistically, the sun puts out energy and the earth picks up that energy. So cationic is anti-clockwise, so it spins that way. The earth's cationic, and the light energy hits the Van Allen belts, or cosmic, if you like, cosmic radiation, and then causes the earth to spin. So the earth's actually spinning in that way. And then of course you've got man on the earth, gets hit with anionic energy from the sun, and then this cationic energy is the earth, and the interaction or the resistance that occurs there as well causes a release in energy. Same with plants as well, same sort of thing. So the energy hits that, and you get a release. As they synchronize, those two energies are synchronized, there's a release of energy, or the resistance between them releases energy. So that's how it works fundamentally. So ionization, ion upon ion. So what we do is we test urine and saliva, and we come up out of that, we'll have the Brix, or the sugar, or the carbs, sometimes called, and then you do the pH of urine over pH over saliva. So these are the various numbers that come in, and then the conductivity, and the nitrates over the ammonia, which equals urea, or the two of them. So we get a formula. So basically by testing the urine, we come up urine and saliva, we get the saliva pH there, but this is the urine, carbs, sugar, pH, conductivity, which is zero resistance as well, and nitrates and ammonia. So out of those numbers we can calculate a huge number of things. So Reams was a mathematician, brilliant mathematician, and through these numbers we can figure out if we're increasing. Obviously we want to increase in energy, so these represent energy. We don't want to be losing energy. Obviously we want to be, every day we want to be gaining more energy. So by working on these and changing the amount of water we drink, the amount of food we eat, or the different types of food that we're eating, we're able to put ourselves in a state where we're increasing energy, and then that's would be called in the healing range. So we want to get into healing range whereby our body heals itself. So we're not trying to, it's not like we're taking a drug, we go, okay, you've got this one problem, we don't diagnose anything. Basically it's just saying that by balancing the body, balancing the biochemistry, balancing the energy, and we're able to then increase energy in our cells, then the body is actually able to heal itself, which the body's designed to heal itself. So, it's kind of simple in the sense that we just give the body what it needs in order to heal. If we don't give the body what it needs to heal, if we're constantly loading our body with toxins, then we will be losing energy and going into a more disease state. So, for instance, calcium, which is cationic, then you've also got potassium, magnesium, and sodium, and we need to, there's different forms of calcium. So it could be carbonate, could be lactate. There's millions of them. Well, not about millions, but there's a lot. Lactate, gluconate, and there's calcium triphosphate, which is soft rock phosphate. So we, by doing these numbers, we can determine which is the appropriate form of calcium to be taking. So if you're acidic, you want to be taking more of the carbonate type forms. If you were alkali and you were taking the carbonate type form of calcium, that would be bad, because it's the wrong form to be taking. And Reams was able to determine that, and these other ones as well. So that's another factor. We need to build the calcium levels, potassium levels. Most people are deficient in potassium, and so we've got to build those levels up. So that's how we, by doing the test, we're able to figure out where the biochemistry is, where the person's at, and then from there make recommendations. We plug those numbers into a computer program and spits out a report which will give the right kind of dietary things to be doing, as well as the amount of water to drink, and then that will shift that body into a place of healing zone so that the body can heal itself. So if we strengthen the liver, then that will strengthen the pancreas, so it helps with all your hormones and enzyme production and all that. And from there, the whole body is able to be healed. So it's a matter of giving the body what it needs to heal, rather than giving it a drug or giving it one specific thing or guessing. So Reem said, why guess when you can be sure? So this is what this is saying is, why guess when you can be sure? Do the numbers and know exactly what's going on in terms of our biochemistry in that snapshot, and then be able to go, okay, we need to take these components, do this and that, and then take another snapshot, at a later stage, and then make adjustments. So if you'd like to be involved with that and like to see your energy increase, if you would like your body to heal, then get involved. So for me, one of the reasons I got involved, I was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation, so I ended up in hospital just checking that out. Calcium deposits in my arteries, so I had a calcium score which was not so great, and arthritis, which I haven't been diagnosed for, but arthritis. But I had pain in my hands and that. So since being on the program, that pain's gone. I've got more movement in my fingers. Actually, I was ending up that I could hardly close and make a fist. Now I'm able to. So that's a huge increase in flexibility. Even my knee, I had a problem with my knee. I even noticed I can now move my leg about that much more, because there was actually physically would not move in my knee. So that's improved. The pain's gone down. Last year I couldn't complete a whole season playing basketball. This year I completed a whole season, played every game, and without the pain, a little bit of pain, but last year I had to stop. So there's huge improvement there. So it really does work. Also had a chap who been working with. He was sleeping like from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. And obviously that's not enough sleep. So he said now he's had 100% increase in sleep going up. So that's a tremendous improvement, and he will continue to improve from there. Still more to be done. So for him, and he'll give us a testimony soon. We should get it up on the site, but that's a huge improvement for him, and that's the sort of thing that people experience when they go on these sort of programs. More energy, sleeping better, just everything starts to work. The weight can drop off as well, because you balance your biochemistry and get things working properly. Then your body's going to start to normalise to the correct weight. If you work the program properly and you do the things that are necessary, you get results. Obviously, if you don't, if you don't work the program properly and don't make the changes, you're not going to get results. It's like anything. But have an intention, and for you it could be energy. Well, for me it was energy. more energy, healthier life, more joy, more enjoyment of life, and being stronger. I even noticed that with working out, you know, that I had more energy to be able to do the workouts. It was a huge increase. Made a huge difference to my life. So, and making a huge difference to that guy's life and others that I'm working with as well. So if you'd like to get involved, awesome, drop us a line, and we'd love to work with you, and we'd love to see you experience the healing benefits of being involved with this kind of program. So like us, etc., do what you can on that, and spread the news. So thanks for listening. We appreciate it. We'll see you.